Well, we got a new tournament, everybody. Eternal Conflict Season 1. We have a group stage that funnels straight into a playoff bracket. And our first match is Rospedol against Dead Game 45. So, we are basically in... You could argue it's the qualifier for the event. It's a standard draft tournament hosted by the Racencourt. We have currently our first game in the best of 3 series here on hand, and as I mentioned before, this is Group A. So we're going to go through 2 group stages, or well, through 2 groups, and then we're heading straight into the playoff bracket. And I'm looking at the bands here, and I'm like, this is a standard draft. I'm not 100% certain what's happening. Khaldor and Asmodan are getting very quickly banned. Now, either the red team has a couple of very high preference picks that I'm not 100% aware of, or Rospedol doesn't really care too much what they ban here. Now, the blue team should be a lot more familiar with you, in case that you have not lived under a rock for the last couple of years. We have 1,500 euros in prize money for the tournament here. Nazeebo gets banned out as well, so it seems like we're going to get a lot of side laners banned today, at least when it comes to our specialist. I'm actually quite happy that that group was removed, and we're starting things off with a Tracer ban. Pick. Yeah, the days when we had Specialist and people were maining in Specialists. Specialist mains, in my personal opinion, were always the absolute bane of any ranked game. It was just horrifying. Doesn't mean that you can't be a good player on some of those side lane characters, but when somebody came in and said like, I'm a specialist main, you knew you were in for a really tough game. I know this is going to be annoying to some people, but deep down you know it's true. We get Gazlo, so a very early Gazlo pick. Yeah, didn't really expect that. Now, I would argue that Dead Game 45 as a team is definitely an underdog heading into this series. Didn't really think they would come out swinging in the draft, though. And I can, again, guarantee you, there are no pre-bans here. This is a standard draft, so there is nothing crazy going on with the picks and bans. That Gazlo pick is coming from conviction. They are looking at it and it's like, we're going to make him work. We're going to show him the clamps. We're going to make it happen. Leoric and Tyrande on the other side, together with Tracer. I can't help myself. I'm rooting for the red team already. They started with Brightwing. That was a yellow card. But then they picked up Gazlo, and that is a win in my book. So, yeah, there it is. So, let's go. Let's see what Team Dead Game 45 can do. They have a Toby 45 on their team, so I'm not quite sure how they're coming from Dead Game and then they add the 45 of his nickname. So I'm not quite sure how this is working out, but, well, we'll see. Jojo gets banned out. And I want to see if we're going to get some more crazy stuff after the Gazlo pick. I'm certainly here for it. Like, build some Wombo. Even if you don't win the game, if you just finish the Wombo at one point with some crazy stuff, I'm here for it. Tacita, okay. And we go for Varian. Alright. I'm looking for the synergy. I can't find it. I'm still looking. We get a D.Va on the other side. So far, no main tank, by the way. Seems like Leo main tank is actually an option. And then Varian taunt into a Gazlo stun and Gravel Bomb with Tacita following it up with a Black Hole. Brightwing then coming in and killing everybody with an Emerald Wind. You heard it here first. And then on the other side, we got Alarak. Alright, so we got our triple front line for the blue team, with Leo being their tank, more say. Machko's gonna play it. And then last but not least, we need a little bit more damage for Dead Game 45 now, first game of the series. So as we are continuing with Infernal Shrines as the first map. And it's Tychus. Okay, so Odin transformation for that. Double StarCraft. Well, ladies, let's go. We got our first map. The Eternal Conflict Season 1 is starting up here. We currently find ourselves in Group A, match number 1, and we're headed to Infernal Shrines. Rospedol in blue on the left as the favorite in this series. Starts things off with Machko on Leoric. We have Lavakal on Tyrande, Ether on D.Va, Itrax with Alarak, and Bronek is playing Tracer. Bronek, as I said, a manly name. Could be the name of a dog, honestly. Would be a great dog name. I mean, seriously. Like, think Rottweiler. Like, Bronek. Go, get him. On the right side, Team Dead Game 45. with Toby on Gazlo. We got Lex on Tychus. Photos on Varian. Ooh, High King's Quest on level 1. Then we got Tacita, who's apparently played by Redwood. And Nikita on Brightwing. So, we get a High King's Quest on level 1. Does that mean we are not looking at a Taunt variant here? Is that actually a thing? I mean, just looking at that lineup, nothing else but Taunt makes sense, but then you could argue that Gazlo also didn't really make a whole lot of sense. So maybe, just maybe, we're gonna get some crazy stuff here. Now D.Va is already sitting up at the top. We have Leo as a bit of a main tank, as already mentioned before. It's a triple front line that they're running, and as long as Leo... Oh ho ho ho! Tacita! Alter Freund und Kupferstecher, he's dead. So that is a Protoss on Protoss kill that we get here first. Countering the Imba on the side of the red team. Yep, cams are up. This is, by the way, still all played out on the, I want to say, old patch. So very likely the new patch that finds itself currently on the PTR is going to be released with the new season. But I personally expected it to be here already, but so far it isn't. So for everybody that is still wondering, hey, like, is the new patch out? It's not. So very likely in the course of this tournament at some point the patch is going to swap over. So we're going to get the comparison between the earlier stages of the event and then the later stages when the new patch is likely going to be live. But for everybody that was wondering, nope, we do not have those new changes in just yet. The second that they drop, mark my words, I'm going to also announce it within the game so that you know exactly when the games are played on the new patch, where we see all of these big changes that Blizzard has now started to introduce. And if you're listening to this and you have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, you should probably check out my YouTube channel. There's still a video where we are discussing the biggest changes that Blizzard is making. And there will be impacts in the game for sure. Now, with game number 1 here unfolding right in front of us. Oh ho ho ho! Tyrande! Yeah, nice little hit here. The Owl came in for a little bit of a smooch with Tacita and nearly got a kill. Down at the bottom of the map, the aggression is also still unfolding, and here comes Taunt. So despite the fact that we have on level 1 the High King's Quest, we still pick Taunt on level 4. Anything else would have been a bit of a shock. But the camps are now up, the objective is soon going to spawn, so teams are starting to slowly get ready for it by taking their Shaman camp. And there's also an enormous amount of pressure on those two bot laners, which is a problem because they will have to hearth back, and Tychus is doing exactly that. But that's already a tower eliminated, the gate gone, there's the stun, and Varian is gone as well. Bye bye. So yeah, Varian, unfortunately for him, had to go. Then again, we're gonna see Tracer eliminated at the top. Leo made it out, but Tracer dying as they were trying to invade that camp, that definitely didn't help their cause either. So it's the first kill that Team Dead Game was able to lock in. The problem is that the blue team not only has taken their own camp a little bit faster as a result of this, but they're also busy in the middle starting to take those shrine minions. And we are getting quite a few of those. That's an 18-point lead. It's not too bad. Specifically since we don't have heroic abilities, aka Tychus doesn't have Odin, which he would love to use here. Tracer is now slowly coming back. Gazlo is still dealing with the top. There was still some pressure happening at the bottom of the map, also thanks to the camp they claimed earlier. But now Tacita is in trouble, and that's another kill here. Easy! So, that kill is in, that's number 3, and we have also level 7 talents with Alarak picking himself up. Some additional sadism, and uh-oh, Tychus gets slowed and killed. Brightwing, and they can't get a kill there. But the jump on the Punisher gets procced right in front of the gate. Now we have Varian destroyed. Oh, and Alarak is not stopping there. He is probing things up for Tracer to get a kill. So Gazlo is now gone. That's a triple kill against Team Dead Game 45. And that will likely spell out the end of the mid lane fort. And it could also mean the end of Tacita again. But Alarak is a bit low. 124 sadism. And he loses way too much here. That was probably the best thing that happened so far for Team Dead Game. It really helps to take the sadism down on Alarak's side. But they lost so much here. And it gets reflected in a 2-level advantage for the blue team. And so, great start for Ross Pierdol. They came in as the favorites. Down at the bottom of the map, doing all of this, Leo has actually made sure that this fort is taking more and more damage. And it's getting to a point where we might see the second structure destroyed in a very, very quick fashion. So, more problems, honestly, for the red team. So they are having a very, very tough game in their hands, especially now that level 10 is about to hit. And even that fort at the bottom of the map might be destroyed before them even getting heroic abilities to push. And there it is. The ranged minions were able to take it out, so that one's gone. In addition to that now, we got Starfall. We got the Deadly Charge for Alarak, who's currently sitting topside. But that's a 2-level advantage with level 10 that has now kicked in. So, yeah, that's tough. They try to go for Gazlo, apparently. Able to get out for now. And Toby, he's fine. Took a little bit longer, but he's still totally okay. Down at the bottom of the map, D.Va starting to move in. And it's Tychus that dies next. Tychus is gone. The Entomb and the mace to the face as Leoric is swinging for the fences again. Takes down Tassadar, and now Varian is trying to somehow get a counter kill against Tracer, which hasn't happened. Ragdoll gets scattered around a bit, but that's now 10 kills to 2. And oof, Rospedol is absolutely showing clinic here. I mean, as I said before, this is the first game in the tournament. This is the first round. We are in the group stage currently, so it's quite clear that Rospedol, with all of the experience that they're bringing in, has an advantage, and they're currently playing that out just to the fullest extent. At the bottom of the map, now 6.5 minutes into the game, they're already going for the next wall, trying to open up the keep. D.Va with the explosion. Went for the best D.Va skin, probably, that we have so far. Bumblebee says hello. And we're getting another kill. Brightwing is gone, and they're not stopping there. They're taking down Varian. Here comes the Entomb, the Deadly Charge. Tychus is dead, and so is Gazlo. Yeah, they're getting a little bit rolled here. So Team Dead Game 45, they are soon going to rename into Team Dead Team because they are getting absolutely slaughtered. We're talking about a 7 to 8 minute keep here. That's what we're currently looking at. 14 kills to 3. Tracer, yeah, still alive. They want more kills, and they're getting more kills. Even with the level 10 abilities now available for the red team, it doesn't seem like they have what it takes to push him back here. Emerald Wind was used. Brightwing still died. The drill for Tychus, who's dead. So is Tassadar. We're 7 minutes and 45 seconds in, and they're already going for the core. 5-man team wipe, and it's a quickie. It certainly looks like one. But, well, with the death timers being as low as they are, can somehow the red team bring it back? I do not believe so. This is one of the fastest games that I've ever seen on Infernal Shrines. This might actually set a record here, and I think it did. 8 minutes into the game. 8 minutes and 8 seconds, and it is game as Rospedol takes the lead in the best of 3 series. GG. We're going to head straight into game number 2, but before we do, once again, guys, if you enjoy the coverage on the channel here, if you enjoy the match, please like and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. It also helps to boost the game to an even wider audience. And of course, it helps to get people back into Heroes of the Storm, as the algorithm recommends the videos to people that were interested in Heroes of the Storm in the past. So again, before I continue, if you haven't done it yet, subscribe to the channel and like the video. Appreciate it. And with that, we're heading straight into the second map of the series. Well, 8 minutes, and we have our lead in this best of 3 series as we're heading for Battlefield of Eternity, our second map. So Team Dead Game 45, unfortunately for them, they're being used as a bit of a punching ball, at least in game number 1. Now, as I said before, we have per group 5 teams, and this is, so to say, it's a bit of a pre-round. So Dead Game 45 is definitely, when you just look at the power levels, the team that currently ranks the lowest in that group. And it kind of shows a little bit. They got unlucky going up against Rospedol in the first round. The winner, if I'm not mistaken, is going up against the Raccoons, who, this Disciples team. They did a great job in some of the previous tournaments and really showed everybody how strong they actually are. So whoever wins here is going to be up against a tough opponent. But if Dead Game 45 isn't able to somehow turn this entire thing massively around, then it's going to get tricky. Now, again, no draft restrictions, so they can pick whatever here, pick and ban. And so far, the bans centered around immortal damage. And that actually includes Jimmy. So not only Li Ming and Vala are banned out, but they're getting rid of Exterminator as a weapon early on too. Hanzo's of course still up. Varian gets banned. After Varian's terrifying performance in game number 1, Rospedol decided that they don't want to go up against him again, and that they were really worried about all of this. Tracer was nearly taunted once, and so they look at this and they're like, you know what, let's just make sure that Varian is not going to be a problem that we're running into here. And then they settle for the consolation prize. They go for Anduin, his son, and try and get him in. I was like, yeah, well, it's not quite the same thing. Instead of an alpha player, we are getting a gamma hero, but you know what, at least they are related by blood, allegedly. I mean, nobody knows for sure. There are still some rumors around Varian's wife, and I mean, honestly, if you look at Anduin, it's absolutely understandable why those rumors popped up in the first place. And again, don't shoot the messenger here. It's not me saying that, it's people saying that. Some of these rumors, they're just very difficult to silence, and it has wreaked havoc with the just generally family cohesion between Anduin, Varian, and Anduin's mom. But again, like, if you are Varian, I would have doubts as well. I mean, wouldn't you? Look at Anduin, look at Varian. If that doesn't immediately ring a couple of alarm bells, then I don't know what will. And, you know, at the beginning, Varian was probably still thinking, you know, wait until he grows up. Maybe his hair is going to get a little bit darker. Who knows? Maybe he's going to grow that beard finally. But then the behavior kicked into, and if I was Varian, I would have a few questions too. So I think it's absolutely understandable. But hey, this is just me. And, yeah. The rumors out there. It's just what it is. Medivh and Lunara for Rospedol. We get Tychus banned out after they looked at Anduin and said, okay, now we need to kind of make up, we need to like increase the manliness of the team. So they went for Garrosh and they went for Imperius. Solid choices, I gotta say. Very solid choices. Oh, and Probius on the other side. Okay, oh, and Kira. Now we're dipping deep into the bag of tricks and handicaps. Nezebo for the red team. So we get the Witch Doctor for some spider action on the Immortal, I'd assume. And Redwood as the last pick with Gul'dan. Okay, so we got a double orc over here. And then, final pick for the Polish team. What are they now going to get? We do not have a main tag for them so far, and we're not going to get one. They are instead adding Zarya, so apparently they're going to try and have a bit of fun with this one too. It's an easy lead for Team Rospedol. Now, can this be turned around? Are we going to see a Game 3 coming up, or is this enough for the blue team to go for the 2-0 victory? We're going to find out now, heading straight for Battlefield of Eternity. Game 2. Over on the left side, we got Rospedol with Machko on Medivh. Main tank Medivh incoming. Kappa. We got Ether on Kira, Bronek on Probius, Lavekal is playing Zarya, and then we have Itrax on Lunara. Over on the right side, Dead Game 45 with Toby on Garrosh. We got Photos on Imperius, Alexlex on Nezebo with the spider build as expected. Redwood is playing Gul'dan, and we got Nikita on Anduin. So, off we go. Down at the bottom of the map, seems like we're gonna set our 4-man up, as you would expect. On level 1, we already go for Gather Minerals. So Probius is gonna come in swinging with those photon cannons. And Nezebo, again, will, during the Immortal phase, try to use the Immortal to start hitting on the spiders hit on the Immortal. I'm still a little bit distracted by the fact that we don't have Hanzo here in this game at all. Lots of heroes got banned out, but Anduin not touched. So, bit of pressure play potentially with Probius in particular. But I'm also quite curious how Zarya is going to fare here as this continues. Medivh, of course, is going to attempt... I mean, so far Medivh is actually not attempting to get any stacks whatsoever. He's just flying around, having a chill time. Machko is just one of those Medivh players, you know, that at the beginning of the game, he just puts a cigar in his mouth, or he just plays Medivh because his pizza delivery has hit, and then he just, you know, eats some pizza, has one hand on the mouse, and just scouts for the team. Is like, I'm helping. Could be. Who knows? But they're trying to apply pressure, so they're already pushing Garrosh back a bit. Talking about pushing back. At the top, That tower is nearly gone. Kira is doing really well on that lane against Nazeebo. You would have expected Imperius to be the top laner. I'm a bit at a loss as to why exactly Nazeebo is sitting on the top lane. Not the hero that I expected to be there. Typically, it is your second melee that has taken that role. But apparently they were hoping to have some extra damage with Nazeebo down, at the top. It's not really working, as you could already see, but hey, time will tell. Portals are coming up. Get them slowly in. Medivh still double checking everything, but the team is pressured. And now Nazeebo goes down at the top lane. That's a solo kill for Kira and a disaster for Nazeebo. Not only for the stacks, but also because that lane is going to lose more now. I can only assume that they left Nazeebo at the top lane because they figured he would get his stacks easier or more reliably if he's the only one on the lane there. With level 4, we now have Turbocharge for Probius. We're also getting Your Pain, My Gain for Kira. Bit of a flip here. Imperius is trying to lock the targets in. That's 1 kill to 0 and a lead in experience as the attacks continue. And Photos is a bit low. Lunara is getting mad value out of all of this. I mean, they're breaking the towers down. The gate is gone. The second tower is about to be eliminated. And they're also poking the entire team down into the low HP areas. So this is a bit rough. Rospier Doll is looking for more kills. Might even get one. Barely an escape for Garrosh, but this is soon going to start to seriously damage the fort. So the Immortal is now up. Proby set to retreat. Zarya goes brrrr for a second. And while that is all playing out, we now have Lunara on the Immortal starting to do the first bit of damage. This top lane has also lost more than only the initial tower, so they're losing more ground here as well. Nazeebo with the spiders is already expected, but there is a big lead on objective number 1 for Rospiedol now. They're taking an easy halftime show victory against their opponent. And can they now get also a kill? The portals are coming out. Keep in mind, no real main tag. Not like they need one. They get the double kill. That's the end of Nazeebo and of Gul'dan. Bye-bye. And I think they're going to get more. They're eliminating Imperius. And they are taking down Garrosh. Nice shield from Medivh onto himself. Full 5-man team wipe as Lunara takes down Anduin. And Probius has already started to push the top lane even further. So it's fair to say, I think at this point, the Team Dead Game is fairly outmatched here. Great that they play in the tournament here regardless. I'm always a huge fan of new teams, new players, or not necessarily new, but people with less tournament experience dipping into these. It's always nice to see. So only encouragement from my side, because you need to first of all get yourself more tournament experience and exposure if at some point you want to push your way into that competitive area. That same was true for other teams in the past, like the Cats and many others. So always nice when we have new teams sign up here, even if it doesn't go all too well in a first round match. So all good. Team Dead Game doing what they can here, but it's not looking great. This is the first objective with a pretty big shield. And while Probius is about to take out the top fort down at the bottom of the map, this one is guaranteed. So this fort is gone 100%. And they might get that wall at the keep too, especially if more heroes are now going to fall. And Imperius is very low. Probius is dealing with the top fort, is going to take that out too. Ether flip, but the portal is there. And after Garrosh dies, they are able to save the rest of the team. So both of the forts are now gone. Probius is still pushing the top lane. And down at the bottom of the map, Team Rospiedol continues the pressure. And guys, they're going to hit level 10 any second now. Level 10, especially with Probius at the top lane, is going to hit. And there is not a single kill yet for Team Dead Game. They might be able to get one here, but that keep is taking damage already. And now Imperius is gone. Probius is also at the bottom of the map. They see they have an opportunity to go for the keep, so they want it. Bambi goes down. First blood for Team Dead Game. The red team has a point on the board. Level 10 abilities are all ready, but they do not have a whole lot of HP here. I mean, as a quick side note, there is no healer on the side of Team Rospiedol. They have some support tools with Zarya and also with Medivh, but they are just absolutely crushing them right now. So that keep at the bottom of the map is now down to less than 50% of its HP. And the only reason why they're not going harder on it is because they just simply lack the sustain. They don't have a proper sustain heal here that they can use for that particular reason to siege up on it. So with all that lead experience and all the damage that they just did, with the first objective I might add, they're doing great, but we'll see when the first key falls. For now, suffice it to say, dead game 45. They are trying to stabilize. They're starting to, I mean, they're trying to get to level 10 first and foremost. And then they have to also, yeah, well, get something positive going for themselves. I would normally say, okay, let's check the stacks of someone like Nazeebo, but the sad truth is that I'm not sure if Nazeebo is going to make it to level 20, especially if he's now dead again. That means that they're going to fall farther behind and that he might not even get the stack progress that he needs either. So already a tough game for the Nazeebo player, but the keep is now gone. I'm not so sure though if Rospedal can beat their record of the previous map. It's the same tile set, the same theme map, but I don't know if they can end it here. They have 30 seconds left, and I don't think it's enough. It might be, though. Anduin goes down after Garrosh was eliminated. Lunara is gone. Gul'dan is dead as well. And they have 28 seconds to drop the core. Oh, this is going to be a longer game. Game number 1 ended at 8 minutes and 8 seconds. And I think that Dead Game 45 has successfully extended it far enough right now. 14 kills to 2. The core is indeed falling, but there's just not enough focus from Rospedal. They're distracted. They're getting pushed back again. And while the core is slowly falling, they're realizing the hopes and dreams are not going to be fulfilled here. They are not going to break their record. So sad as they are, they slowly start to fall back a little bit. Gul'dan has moved towards the top to defend here as the wall there is also slowly taken out. Zarya is about to go down. That's kill number 4. The comeback is real. Team Dead Game 45 is coming in with a big comeback, it seems. Lunara is again on the Immortal. This is the second objective in the game that has now spawned. But the red team is emboldened. They're Talon down, but they think, you know what, boys? If we just believe and hurry a little bit, maybe we can win this one. Zarya will be back soon, though. So Zarya will be back in 2 seconds, then has a bit of travel time before she's in the fight. But the red team seems eager. They want to still win this. Yeah, Bambi is still poking. Kira is doing damage. Leyline to delay them further. Okay. Garrosh, low, and Anduin tried the bubble. Was immediately interrupted. They are losing Nikita, and Anduin is dead. But the blue team's Immortal is now a lot lower. So, yeah, the problem is that too many heroes here are dying. Garrosh is gone. Imperius is gone. Gul'dan is dead as well. So that's an easy quad kill now for the team. And with the portal, they're moving forward once again. Nazeebo completes at least the spider quest. But after this many heroes dying and Nazeebo now also being crushed, that's going to be the end of the game. They are able to finish it just before the 10-minute mark hits. Are they? I mean, yep, they are, but they weren't able to beat their record from game number 1. A 2-0 victory for Rospedal as they move on to the next round of the tournament bracket here in Group A. GG, well played.